when you were in first grade, maybe sooner, you were told that your heart pumps your blood. You were told your heart pumps your blood through your body, and it pumps your blood your entire life. A conservative number, if you were to stretch out all your veins, arteries, and capillaries, the conservative number would be that it circles around the earth. Some say up to 3 times. Does it make sense that a muscle that weighs 1 pound has the ability and the strength to pump blood all the way around the earth? Yet we were told that our heart works this hard for us. It pumps blood. That's a lot of pressure we put on our heart to think that it operates in that way. Can you imagine being under that kind of pressure? So, here's the truth about your incredibly magical heart. It is not a pump. It's a helical. It's helical. It's a double helix, a spiral, and it's a spinner. There's a vertical vortex and there's a horizontal vortex. And those vortexes siphon and eject. So the blood coming in is siphoned in, and what happens is it builds up pressure because you have within that you have these heart valves. It's like the heart is like a dam. If you know anything about like moving water, there's something called a ram system. The heart is exactly like a ram system. So a ram system can move water from downhill to uphill without pumping. What it does is as the blood enters the heart, pressure builds. And when that pressure gets big enough, the heart expands. So this is like, well, what about the pumping? Well, the heart expands from what's entering. And when it gets enough pressure, the valve is released and it begins to siphon. The siphoning is happening. And when that gate is open, that heart gate, there's literally a valve there that opens, and then there's an ejection of blood back out the heart. And that ejection process, so if we measure the velocity of the blood as it's circulating through the body, it's going the fastest. And it's, the vein, it goes all the way down to our toes, through the arteries, it leaves the heart, and then it comes back in the heart through the veins, and it goes uphill to get to the veins. So you would think that by the time it got to the top where it's being siphoned, it would be going slow, but it's going its fastest on the way in and on the way out. So what happens when it goes all the way down? And here's where, if there was a pump, the pump would be in the capillaries. But what happens is it's like this huge, it's like a river, right? And this river is powerful, coming out of the ventricle in through the artery. And then it splits off like tributaries and in that it's almost like you go into the capillaries, and those capillaries are like a marsh or wetlands where the water goes in and it slows down. The blood comes almost to a stop in the capillary. And then as that builds up pressure, the capillary shoots the blood back out, and that's what powers the blood to go back up. And that kind of still makes sense, but there's another secret. And it's the fluid, it's the water. The blood is about 60% water. And that water, biological water, the water inside of us, has an electrical charge. And so what's really happening is that electrical charge is propelling the blood. If we look at rivers, they spiral, and so does the blood. And it's the heart that continues the main helix, the main structure or vortex is happening in the ventricle, the left ventricle. So it's coming in, the right ventricle is leaving the left, and the left ventricle is spiraling and spinning that blood. And when we spiral and spin that blood, we restructure the water. We restructure our memory. So when we embrace and welcome these aspects of ourselves, we allow the flow through the heart, and the heart literally restructures those memories and those events into what becomes our wholeness.